And we're back, working on the CB500 Scrambler. Now last time got cut short because my welder went and died on me. Happy to say, new one has arrived so we can get stuck back in just as soon as I unpack and set up the new one. And there we have it. Nice new, smaller, lighter, more powerful MIG welder. Euro torch connector rather than built-in one on crappy old hobby welder I had. Infinitely adjustable power settings. It's got metal wire feed unit, which I really want because that's what let the old one down twice, was the shitty plastic ones. You know, a lot of the features I was looking for, you basically draw the line between a hobby welder and a, not professional level, but at least something that you'd use more frequently. And it's got a proper gas line rather than my old welder that had one of these really thin little tubes for disposable bottles. This is designed to work with the big refillable bottles. So things were going pretty well. I mean, they're not pretty welds, but they'd hold. And then this happened. I really didn't think I'd blow through 2.5mm steel, but I managed to. I don't know what I'm going to do. What I'll probably do, because that's just on a flat, is I'll just have to cut that section out, get another bit of bend and just weld it in. One thing I didn't do is I didn't strip the paint back far enough down so it kept catching fire. But, for my first time welding something like this, and first time using that new welder, I'm okay with it. I mean, well, grind it down and see how it looks, but just a shame that I managed to blow through it. So I didn't bother to film it, but I've cut out the section that I burnt through. One of the kind of convenient things about doing this is I can actually see that I was getting good penetration right through to the other side of the metal, so that's reassuring. And I have cut out a replacement patch. And I'm pleased to say I've learned from my mistakes, because I cut this bit out first time and it's actually a better fit than the previous one, although it is a bit of an easier shape because it's not a compound curve. Really happy with that. Time to weld it in place. And that's it in. Admittedly terrible welding, especially around this section where I did manage to burn through it again, but I was, to my surprise and delight, able to, it was only a small hole, and just kind of build up weld around it until it closed it in. So I won't know for sure until I grind it back, but I think I got away with it, and as long as it's solid, grinder and paint make me the weld I ain't and all that, so I think it should be fine. And there we have it. It's certainly not the prettiest thing, but no holes. It'll be strong. It'll definitely do. Just going to throw some paint on there to stop it rusting, as eventually going to get the whole frame powder coated. There it is. Really happy with the result. I mean, it's by no means perfect, but it's definitely strong. It's no longer rusty, and it's on the bottom of the bike, so no one's going to see it anyway. I'm also hoping once I've had it powder coated, it should smooth out some of those angular edges on there from where I was grinding down my horrific welding. Also, really happy with my new welder. I wish I'd invested in a decent welder to begin with instead of struggling with this cheap second-hand piece of crap that I used for so long. The difference is night and day. I mean, there's a couple of little things I don't like about this that I've discovered so far, but overall it's awesome. I would definitely recommend it. It's an Artec MIG 180, I think it's called, yeah, Artec MIG 180. I did a lot of comparisons of this kind of, low-end price range that seemed to be the best on paper, and I really like the way it welds, so I can definitely recommend it. All that's left to do now is to give my trusty old welder the proper seeing off to it deserves. it.